Happy New Year's, Planeswalkers. There's 6 back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. Don't forget to head over to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. And you still have time to get 15% off of everything over at the store of Flipside Gaming. Sealed cards, accessories, singles, all that nonsense. So definitely head on over to flipsidegaming.com. It's a great deal and helps support the channel. Now, I'm not going to lie. This is the second time I'm recording this video. Because today, I wanted to showcase a really fun deck. And I came up against Dimir Control. To be fair, I wasn't ranked. Blue-White Control, and then Izzet Phoenix in casual. The last two were in the casual mode. I wanted to show you guys a fun game, like fun games, with this really fun deck. But my opponents wouldn't let me. All of the games were close. The problem is they just weren't interesting to watch, because they were the same control decks and the same Izzet Phoenix decks that you see all the time. So I want to give you guys full disclosure. I am re-recording this video. So if this DeckTech is a little bit shorter than usual, it is because I want to be a little bit more succinct so I can try and get to better games. Especially since I might have to do this a third time, which I hope I don't. So anyway, this is a Jodah Archmage Eternal deck that I've been wanting to do for quite a while, but I wasn't entirely sure how to go about doing it, so I just adapted a list from Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, over on MTG Goldfish. I mean, I assume all of you guys know that website, but if you don't, I'll put a link in the description below. Anyway, the main point of this deck is to play out a Jodah, be able to cast pretty much anything from your hand, and just win the game off of like a bunch of different, like, interesting lines. The way that you typically will do this is by getting Mastermind's Acquisition or Omniscience or something, getting a bunch of cards with Overflowing Insight, getting a card from your sideboard, and just like winning the game. Anyway, we don't run any 1 or 2 drops. I did try a couple 2-drops in the deck, but I found that since a lot of our lands are going to be coming in tapped on turn 1 and 2, that we didn't really necessarily want any 1 or 2 drops anyway. So we're running 4 Gift of Paradise. It is a ramp spell that gains its life. Helpful. It also color fixes. Grow from the Ashes. It is a ramp spell that we can kick to get more lands than we otherwise would. Very helpful. Recollect. This is probably the strongest card in the deck, to be honest, because it gets back anything that we need. It allows us, if we have used all of our Mastermind's Acquisitions for some reason, if our Omniscience and our Overflowing Insights are in the graveyard, we can Recollect to get those cards back and be able to use them again. We can also reuse the one-ofs from our sideboard if we need to. So if we end up getting something from our sideboard and it doesn't help us win the game enough, then we can Recollect to get that card back and use it again. Very, very strong card. I'm not the biggest fan of this art, but it is classic, so I have to give it that. 2 Deafening Clarions, because sometimes aggro is there, and we have to kill it. Although, based on our games, aggro doesn't exist. It's only blue-based control. Anyway, running 4 Chromatic Lanterns. It fixes, and it ramps. Very helpful. 4 Jodahs. I initially, when I was trying to make this deck myself, I only played 3, but I quickly found that 4 was very important because of how squishy Jodah is. Jodah dies to so much that you really want to be able to have him at 4, and the fact that you really do want to see him every game means that it's probably just correct to run the full 4. 1 Ixalan's Binding. This was not in the original MTG Goldfish list, but I added it because I found that sometimes your opponents, especially the green-black opponents who had access to Vraskas and Vivian Reeds, just made it so that you couldn't like Omniscience or even cast Jodah because both of those just kill them, and I needed to be able to get a way to deal with them. So Ixalan's Binding was the obvious choice for me. 3 Mastermind's Acquisition. You could probably run 4, honestly. This card is so strong, as you could see with the Chromatic Black deck. This allows you to get anything you need from your main deck, as well as anything from your one-of sideboard deck. I will say it's very difficult to use this card. I think it's probably more difficult to use in this deck than it was to use in Chromatic Black, so you will likely see me misplay Mastermind's Acquisition at some point during these games. 2 Cleansing Novas. We gotta blow stuff up sometimes. For what it's worth, if we don't have... I mean, we have a lot of artifacts and enchantments, but if we don't have those out, then we can even use it for its utility of blowing up artifacts and enchantments, especially against, like, mill decks. I found that in practice, not the video that I just recorded because that was off, I came up against a lot of mill decks, so they also gave me a lot of trouble, so Cleansing Nova is helpful. Niv-Mizzet is a dragon that annoys the crap out of people. It's real strong. Muldrotha, another card that was not in the initial deck. I added it because I like Muldrotha, and it allows me to recast things from our graveyard. Recasts, Gift of Paradises, Ixalan's Bindings, Chromatics, Omnisciences, all that nonsense. And I just like the card. I want to play it because I like it. 2 Overflowing Insights. You need to draw cards. This allows you to draw cards. If you have Omniscience out, you draw a bunch of cards. Your opponent probably just concedes. The art is horrifying, but its power level speaks for itself. 3, Star of Extinctions. This was initially 4, I believe, but I cut 1 down. I think probably to add Muldrotha, which is possibly a mistake, but I don't care. Star of Extinction, it blows up a land and it blows up creatures. And it has a nice combo with a card in the sideboard that we will talk about in a moment. 2, Omniscience. Your goal is almost always going to be to get Omniscience out. That does kind of make Jodah a bit superfluous, but at the same time, you can just do bonkers things with Jodah alone, but Omniscience allows you to make really broken plays. And typically, your line of play in order to win the game is Omniscience into Mastermind's Acquisition for a certain thing based on what else is in your hand. So if you have Star of Extinction in your hand, you have Omniscience out, you Mastermind's Acquisition for Truefire Captain, cast Truefire Captain, cast Star of Extinction, your opponent takes 20. If not, then you can like get a Mortal Sun if your opponent has a bunch of Planeswalkers. You can Nexus Fate and try to just keep gaining a bunch of turns from like drawing a bunch of Overflowing Insights with your Recollects. It's a real complex way to win the game, but it's really interesting. This is the mana base. I think I changed it very slightly. I think I added like a Temple Garden and took something out. I'm not entirely sure what. But for the most part, I didn't want to mess with the mana base because I am not the strongest at mana bases, so I just accepted what's accepted. And then, of course, we have a bunch of one-offs in the sideboard. Duress, you might be thinking, like, why would you have Duress if you're casting Mastermind's Acquisition? Wouldn't your opponent counter it? Not always. If you have enough mana that you have the ability to cast Mastermind's Acquisition and Omniscience, you almost always want to be able to use Mastermind's Acquisition to get Duress, in order to Duress your control opponent to see if they have a counterspell, so that you can then know, okay, they don't have a counterspell, or they use the counterspell on Mastermind's Acquisition, and then you play out Omniscience, and then you can win the game from there. So that's why Duress is in here. Negate, very similarly, is probably going to be used in very specific circumstances. None of them came up for me, but if you need to, you can go get this to deal with something of your opponent's. We have another Recollect, and this is actually incredibly important, because if your opponent does somehow get 2 Recollects out of you, you can go and grab this one to get another one of your like main deck pieces or something like that. So like if you have used all like both your Recollects and Ixalan's Binding is already in the graveyard, you can go get a Recollect to get an Ixalan's Binding back. So that's very helpful to have an additional one in the sideboard. Another Deafening Clarion because, you know, aggro. Truefire Captain, as I said, combos really nicely with Star of Extinction to just deal your opponent 20 damage, which is really hilarious. Teferi, because sometimes just getting Teferi is enough to make some opponents quit, and that's essentially the only reason it's in here. Also, I like the art, but I almost never go and get this. I put in an Underrealm Lich to deal with mill decks, so I can just be like, I am not going to draw anymore, so you can't kill me, so go away. 1 Carnage Tyrant, because I hate control. That's not true, but my gosh, trying to play a casual deck against, like, top-tier decks is really frustrating. Yeah, I don't know. Carnage Tyrant helps with that a little bit, but not perfectly. 1,000 Year Storm. For the memes, I don't know. I never get 1,000 Year Storm because usually if you have the chance of getting it, you probably have one with something else anyway. 1 Immortal Sun because Planeswalkers are really annoying. So if you have Omniscience and your opponent is like on green-black control, or green-black midrange, you can go get this, play this out, and then your opponent can no longer use their Planeswalkers, which is really nice. 1 Nexus Fate because sometimes you want to chain turns. 1 Nezahal because I hate you control. 1 Chromium because I hate you control. 1 Zakama because Zakama is the best. And 1 Banefire because I hate you control. As you can see, I was a little bit shorter than I usually do for my my like really big like new decks, but I just want to play some fun games, man. I am playing this. I'm recording this earlier than I usually do because I'm supposed to be hanging out with my girlfriend for New Year's Eve. This is coming out New Year's Day for you guys, but it's New Year's Eve day for me. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna record early and we'll like hang out all day. But of course, my opponents have all been really annoying. So usually your hand, you want to have 3 lands and a ramp spell. This is that. Unfortunately, Hinterland Harbor would come in tapped, so I think we're actually going to play this first. Because we can choose to just take 2 damage. So we're going to play Hinterland Harbor first, into Gateway Plaza, into, if we have to, shock Chromatic Lantern. We do have double Cleansing Nova, which is helpful if our opponent is on a more aggressive slant. But from what I've been seeing, it's going to be nothing but control. Oh my gosh. In Evolving Wilds, does this mean we don't have to play against control? I'm fine playing against control, but when it's like tier 1 control, in casual, it's really frustrating. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm playing a bunch of rares and mythics, right? Like this deck is a bunch of rares and mythics, but it's also 5 colors. It's 5 color nonsense. So we will go ahead and play Chromatic Lantern. that's one of the things that this deck can sometimes happen, where you just have like a bunch of reactive things and like no card draw. But it's fine. I'll probably just Sacred Foundry next turn. See what our opponent plays. Grow from the Ashes. All right, they're playing ramp. They might be playing the Wayward Swordtooth deck, maybe. But they could also just be playing Kicker ramp. Oh, another reason I decided to redo the video is because it was essentially 40 minutes of really like two games. The blue-black deck took like 25 minutes for me to not even lose. Like, it just took me 25 minutes before I was like, okay, I'm just giving up. Then it was blue-white control, and I literally just, I was like, as soon as I realized it was blue-white control and not something remotely interesting, like it was just stock blue-white control, I was like, all right, I'm not going to make you guys go through this. And then the third game was Is It Drake's? And I kept playing, and it was really close, and I was like, this is like a 45-minute video of like the same deck that people have seen countless times. So I was like, I'm just not going to deal with this. So hopefully we can do more interesting. I don't mind losing. Like, as you guys can probably tell based on the number of times I've lost in my videos, I am fine taking those L's. I guess I could have played Muldrotha here. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. I'm totally fine losing in videos. But when I can't stand to rewatch my own content, then I know you guys won't, right? And I don't want to put out videos that I don't enjoy watching. So like I went back and I looked at a little bit of it. I was like, yeah, this is not entertaining because it's just blue-black control, blue-white control, and Drakes. If it was like blue-black control, mono-red, right, and I don't know, something else, like one interesting deck, one non-meta deck, that'd be fine, right? Because at the very least, then I would just be like, okay, sure. I played 2 meta decks and 1 non-meta deck, but all 3 of them were meta. I was like, ugh, this is boring. Enough of my rambling. What are your guys' New Year's resolutions? I don't really like New Year's resolutions because, you guys should see a New Year's. Oh wait, I guess that would have came out already. Right, because I'm putting that out 11:59 my time. Oh yeah. I guess I'll attack. I don't know what my opponent's doing. I'm very confused. My opponent's definitely in green-red ramp of some kind. But, I'm gonna thin my deck a little bit of lands. And just end turn. I would love to, I mean, like, Overflowing Insight I think is the best draw here. Mastermind's Acquisition is probably second best. I don't know what my opponent's doing. I haven't put him on enough pressure, so they get to just, like, sit back and relax. Ooh, Niv, and I can play Niv. So I could Niv into Recollect, which will draw me a card. I think I'm okay with that. It's possible I should have cast Niv first. Interesting. Okay. I'm just gonna Recollect my Muldrotha back. So I guess they're a burn deck. Huh. Cool. They're a big red. They're like ramp burn. That's interesting. I got Ixalan's Biting. That's not bad. Because my assumption is that they're running Experimental Frenzy. It's my assumption, but I kind of want to make an Escapable Blaze deck. Just like I can just make a deck that, I could make a Teamer can't be counter deck. You run Niv-Mizzets, you run Inescapable Blaze, you run Banefires, you run Carnage Tyrants, and you run a decent amount of ramp. So you just ramp into Niv-Mizzets, Inescapable Blazes, like all that nonsense. I like it. And I think that's kind of what this opponent's doing, except they don't have the Nivs. Je t'aime. Alright, well, just play Muldrotha and recast Niv. Can I actually do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Darn, I can't. Unfortunate. I could if I did it next turn. So I don't really want my Muldrotha to die without being able to get Niv back. So I think it's correct to just wait a turn. Because, like, I'm luckily not under a ton of pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My opponent only has 9 lands. So I think next turn I'll Muldrotha into Niv-Mizzet. And they shouldn't have, unless they have a counterspell, which they're playing green-red, so I doubt. I should be able to Muldrotha directly. Ooh. Yes, please. Good game. No! So, okay. Muldrotha. Wait, is this from your hand? Oh, it's from my hand. I'm so stupid. I didn't know that. Oops. Alright, I should have waited. That was dumb. I didn't realize it was from my hand. Alright, hopefully Muldrotha lives. Probably won't. That was definitely stupid on my part. I did not realize that this said from my hand. I should have realized that. It doesn't make sense that it wouldn't be. Curses. That said, let Muldrotha live. Please. Pretty please. I mean, the longer my opponent does nothing to me, the better it gets. I guess I'll just cast Niv here, and then attack. Blaze me. Alright, that's a little frightening. Yep, they're just trying to burn me. I am a little scared now. I am at 9. See, if I lose to this, I don't mind, because it's interesting. Okay. Let's see what happens. I guess I could have binding. I should have binding that. Oh my gosh, I'm alive. Alright, well, even if I binding this now, they can kill me in response. So let's see if I win. Ooh, Dees. I do get to draw some, though. And I am honestly gonna oh, okay. Let's grow from the ashes first. I do still have to pay the kicker cost. Let's ping you. Let's get some lands out. So this was, like, literally free. And let's play the... Like, this literally just costs... It makes it so they have 1 less mana to use. That's literally it. And I just end the turn. Yes. There's also some weird shenanigans you could do. Like, I could have Ixalan's Binding Muldrotha, and then cast Star of Extinction, or cast Cleansing Nova to destroy my own things. So let's attack. I assume my opponent has another fog effect. Yep. But I'm gonna keep pinging you. I wish I was drawing other cards, but this is fine, I guess. So they're at 4. So I could... No, I guess I couldn't do that efficiently. Nah. I should have did the Ixalan binding trick. That would have been interesting. Let's play this tapped. Let's play this for free. Let's not play this for free. I don't really have a reason to. I can play it for free whenever I want, and it can still tap for mana. My opponent has... Wow, if my opponent has Banefire, they're 1 off. 1, 5, 8. Yeah, so getting rid of their Gift of Paradise might have actually saved my life if they have Banefire in hand. Because they have 9 total mana, and they have to pay like the 1 part for Banefire, so if they have exactly Banefire, I save myself with the Ixalan's Binding play. And I want to know if they had it, but there's no way to like do that, unfortunately. They did have it! I'm alive. Oh wait, I might still be dead. If they have Lightning Strike, I'm dead. Really rude that they decided to wait so long to see that. Am I alive? Am I alive? Okay, I am still allegedly alive. Let's ping you. Deafening Clarion. Cast without paying mana cost. Creatures gain lifelink. Okay, I have one now. Well, unless my opponent has been slow rolling me. Don't you dare have the lightning strike. Are you serious? Oh, that's combat damage. Okay, I was about to be salt. Oh man, I was like, did you really slow? I like this person's deck. It's like a weird take on Turbo Fog. That's really cool. It's Burn Fog. That's awesome. See, this is what I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to play against. Because I almost died. Right? I was really close to losing. It was a close game, and it was an interesting deck. That's what I wanted to see. I'm so glad that I'm redoing this video. I'm sure Abigail's not. She would much rather be playing Mario Kart with me. All right. We have an okay hand. Yeah, this is fine. We can Chromatic Lantern on. Oh gosh. Well, that's a Submerged Boneyard, so. Oh, well, we also have a replacement for Jodah, so this should be okay. Gonna play the Plaza down on 2. Chromatic. Okay, I have no idea what our opponent's deck is, which is really good. I like being surprised. That's not true. I actually hate surprises in real life. I'm just not a surprise guy. I like to know things before they happen. Unmoored Ego. Interesting. Huh. That might be bad. Unmoored Ego. What? Alright. What did they name? Why can't I wish you could see what they named. My opponent's getting a look at my deck, though. Interesting. Alright. So I think they're going to probably Unmoored Ego my Jodah? I assume they have a second one. I don't see why they would do that with 0 knowledge. Primal... What? What the heck? Interesting. So next turn I can grow... I hope I get a land next turn so I can grow from the ashes into Chromatic Lantern. Up. Primal Amulet. What? I'm very intrigued by my opponent's deck here. Maybe I should just cast Jodah and stop being dumb. Recollect. I guess I can just normal grow from the ashes. And we're going to get a Red Source. Then we'll play this. And now we have access to 7 mana. So we can Star of Extinction, the Submerged Boneyard. Let's see if our opponent gets a Black Source. They should. They did. Darn. Oh, we're actually... darn. Because, okay, so if they have another Unmoored Ego, then I can lose my Star of Extinction, but I think I would rather star the Primal Amulet. So my opponent's on blue-black Amulet. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I guess I'll just Jodah now. Can I cast this and Jodah? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can. Why sabotage that? I guess. Oh, I guess to flip this, and now I have like nothing going on. All right, yeah, that's fair. All right, so I do have Star of Extinction for that. I feel like I'm gonna lose this game because I did not put enough pressure on. Hopefully they don't have another counterspell. Star of Extinction his Primal Wellspring. Is he going to use it now? Looks like he is. Let's see what he does with it. Nexus. Oh my god. I lost all respect I had for you. I had so much respect, and it's all gone now. Alright, he gets like 2 turns. Well, 3 total. Alright, last turn. Waiting for the other Nexus of Fate. It's really unfortunate that we didn't draw land as quickly as well. That's the game. Not gonna sit there for 1,000 years. I would rather play another game. At least that deck was different, so I'll give them that. Yeah, we didn't put enough pressure on him though. Let's see. This hand does not have the ramp, but it has the mana situation for the most part. Yeah, I think it'd be a mistake to throw this back. Our opponent had to throw it back. And so we're just going to play a bunch of tap lands real quick. Well, Deafening Clarion is really nice to see. Our opponent is on a white-based aggressive deck. Well, it kind of looked like they're on a white-based aggressive deck, but they haven't played anything aggressive. Oh god, it's Jeskai. Alright, well. This is going to be an awkward game, where nothing happens until my opponent counters all my stuff. Yeah, well, I'll grow from the ashes. Let's see if they decide to counter this. Nope, cool. Let's get blue and black. That way I have 3 blue and 2 black on the board. I already have 2 red. I already have 2 white. 3, 6, 7. So I can cast Star of Extinction next turn, which I probably will, to be honest. Definitely going to cast Star of Extinction now. Goodbye, Ral. Goodbye. I guess the Sulphur Falls is the correct hit. Let's see. So they have one. They only have 2 blue, so I definitely blow up one of the blue lands. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think Sulphur Falls is correct. Gets rid of Ral, which is real nice. And it sets them back on mana. And they did get rid of a land, so maybe they don't have another one. They do. That's fine, but they still only have one blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're only 2 lands away from casting Omniscience. Recollect is real dope. I'm going to Recollect my Star of Extinction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See if they decide to counter it. If they counter this, oh, they didn't. Nice. So let's try and blow up all of their blue sources, shall we? Alright, well. I tried. I could have recollected for Grow from the Ashes, but eh. Teferi? Sure?
This isn't a fight you can win.
They might have Ionize, but I think it's still just correct to try and get this to resolve. Yeah. So I guess if nothing else, next turn I can cast Niv-Mizzet. Darn. Darn, darn, darn.
Keep up the pace.
Recollect's next to C. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just gonna I don't have the ability to cast Niv-Mizzet. Blue, blue, wait. Blue, 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 red, red. Darn, I need another red. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna get Girl from the Ashes. Dang, I think I'm probably gonna fall too far behind. Dang. I don't know. Maybe they don't have another counterspell.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Shut up, Teferi. Well, we got to play against 2 interesting decks at least. One of which was semi-interesting. So I can try to Omniscience. But it's probably going to be countered. Wait, why can I still not play? Oh, because it's the red that I'm missing and I don't have another red source. That's why. Great. So I'm just going to try and cast Omniscience, I guess. And see if it resolves. Nope. Damn. 2 ionizes in the top. It's unfortunate.
We need to move quickly.
I'm disappointed. It's fine. Let's see. So I can acquisition for... I can acquisition for Ixalan's Binding, or I can acquisition for... for Immortal Sun. Either way, I don't think it matters, because I think my opponent's just going to counter this. Shouldn't counter this, though. Unfortunately, there's not much I can really do about this. I can Banefire for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can Banefire for 7, which doesn't even kill Teferi. I couldn't as a whole. Which like just gets bounced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm 1 off of Zakama, unfortunately. But Zakama would probably just be countered. Unfortunately, there's not much I can really do in this scenario. I'm going to take Immortal Sun. If they counter it, I'll just concede. And I'll just make this video a bit longer than I initially intended, to try and show you guys interesting games. Alright, well. No point in continuing to go on. They, at this point, can probably just screw us over. Alright, once again, I'll try and play another game in the casual play mode. This is a bad hand. Well, if we draw a land, then this hand is okay, but it's only okay. I hate everything. Nope. I could edit that out, and someone told me that I should edit my videos. I stopped making videos in the past because I didn't like editing, so I'm not going to. If I get, like, quote-unquote big enough, I might, like, hire an editor or something, but I hate editing so much. Alright, let's go ahead and play this. We'll play this into Gift of Paradise, into Grow from the Ashes, into Muldrotha, and if Muldrotha dies, I can recollect Muldrotha. Everything's fine. Just gonna put this on here. Put it on a white-black of some sort. Vamps, alright. Let's get a blue and blue. Next turn is just Muldrotha, I think. Raid Destiny, sure. I could Masterminds for something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'd Masterminds for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Clarion's not terrible. What would I get with acquisition? I could just get Omniscience, but there's not really a reason to do so, because I don't have the mana for it. I could Recollect Grow from the Ashes and recast that, so that I would at some point have the mana for it. Yeah, sure, why not? It's a little greedy, I think. Oh, wait, I'm dumb. Oh, okay, good. I thought I only had the planes left, but no. Okay, this is fine. So then I can, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, cool. So I can Mastermind acquisition for Omniscience. Cast Deafening Clarion to kill some stuff. To kill a lot of stuff. Cool. Alright, so I will Clarion. Grow from the Ashes is now worthless. Although I guess I don't know, maybe it's better just to draw cards? Yeah, I think it's better just to draw cards. Not really a reason for me to cast this. Because, like, if I get Omniscience, I don't have any cards to play. Do need to be careful. Jodah. Jodah, you make this cost more than it's worth. Yes. Oh, that's interesting. So I can Overgrown Tomb. It'd be on 3. Darn. So I can play Jodah if I play Overgrown Tomb untapped. I guess I might as well. Yeah, might as well. Actually, I could Star of Extinction. Discard a card. Let's discard Grow from the Ashes, because we don't need it. So we probably just block here, take 6, Star of Extinction, the Isolated Chapel. Ow. Vona, alright. Vona dies. We should be able to play at least one. But can we play another one? 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we can. I'm at 6 and they're at 32. I'm in the danger zone. The double cleansing Nova helps though. I'll just play Jodah. We'll keep Chromatic Lantern in hand for now. Immortal Sun. Part of me really wants to Cleansing Nova that. Yeah. No. This. And I'll play Muldrotha for 5. Oh, I have Jodah in there. Cast enchantment. What? What enchantment? I don't have the mana for Ixalan's Binding. I do if I play this though. Oh, I had that, of course. We are out of cards in hand. I only have Jodahs in here, right? Yeah. So I guess I'll slowly try and kill my opponent. Very, very slowly. Alright, Zealot. Alright, acquisition. I think I just acquisition a Recollect to get back Overflowing Insight, I think. Or I could just acquisition my own Overflowing Insight, you dumb. Then cast this for Jodah mana. Play Harbor. Yeah, I'll play this. That's not. There's so many different options. Alright, and once again, attack for 4 in the air. Drew a lot of lands there. Okay. Acquisition. For recover. Or recollect, sorry. Recollect. For insight. Insight. Revive. Draw cards. Omniscience. Oh gosh. Gift of Paradise. for free on this. Deafening Clarion. Jesus, for free. Both of these. I forgot I killed my own guy. Whoops. Girl from the Ashes. For free. Not kicked. Alright. Opponent, I am a little sorry. This deck is meant to be a little bit better than yours. The matchmaking is so strange. Like, oh, look, it's a Polyraptor. Like, I shouldn't be going up against the, like, white black vampire deck, but I also shouldn't be going against straight up Jeskai Control. I don't know. Anyway, I'd like to thank my lovely patrons for their continued support throughout this entire year. If you haven't seen it already, there should be a video up on the channel that's like a year in review. That's going to talk, well, that has talked, I don't know how to tense this, because making videos is time travel, alright? That talks about how insanely thankful I am for all of you guys. Yeah, check that out. It's probably going to be weird. I don't know. I haven't actually recorded it yet, but I'd like to thank all you patrons for your support throughout this year. It's been absolutely insane. If you guys would like to join them supporting the channel, you'll find links to that in the description down below, as well as links to the Discord server. Very similarly, like I'm floored by how many people have joined the server and constantly talk to each other and hang out and have a good time. So links to that in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this year of Magic content, and I look forward to putting out more Magic content for you guys. I've been having an absolute blast making content for you guys, and yeah, I look forward to many years to come. Yeah, tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, and cast a comment to the comment section down below. And until next time, all will be one.